an APZ and it doesn't conform. When he did
2
it,
acres.
when he did it in '93, it was 1 acre and it conformed, but now it doesn't, so. We gotta go to ZBA, which, it's just an extra step.
Did that,
And they gotta go to the health department.
Yeah.
Jake
They only have
Montana.
room for
That's actually how it started. Okay. This son, you don't wanna hear the whole story, so I don't want to lay it off, but went to the health department, applied for a building permit, they said we don't recognize the lot. It was 20 years after they owned the property, and the family wanted to give the kids a lot, but not the farm.
Was that Kobelinsky?
So,
They had it originally, didn't they?
yeah, Kobelinsky's right, that's Teresa, right, you got it. We'll put the package together, we'll go where we have to go.
We're all set, Emily?
All set.
Is Dick coming tonight, or?
I didn't hear anything.
I have not heard anything from him, no.
We're here.
Yeah.
All right, we'll
We'll
call the
wait for
meeting to
Warsaw.
order. Let's start with the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, welcome to the October 5th Town of Riverhead Planning Board meeting. First item on our agenda is a discussion item for Rock Camp Minor Subdivision on Depot Road.
I promise not to say it.
All right, so what we've got is a application for a 2-lot minor subdivision from an existing 33.89 acre parcel located in the agricultural protection zone. It's located on the south side of Depot Road. The story behind the property is that the owners sold the development rights on the 32.89 acre parcel, and as a result of Suffolk County Real Property Tax Services accepting the deeds, the lots were parcelized in their current form. When the applicant went to go to apply for a building permit on the building lot, Suffolk County Department of Health did not recognize it as a legal lot. So they're coming in to legalize the subdivision now. When they originally sold the development rights, the 1 acre lot conformed to the zoning at that time, which was 1 acre. Now it does not conform to the 2 acres, so they will need to go to ZBA for creation of a substandard lot. During review, it was noted that neither parcel is located in any water district or water district extension, so they will likely need to install a well to provide water to the building lot. Beyond that, there's not much.
They applied to build a house there
It
for a
is.
permit? Is the barn gonna come down?
No, they'd leave the barn.
Gonna leave the barn?
Yeah, actually, part of my package which I delivered was Nathan Corwin's survey, was submitted to the building department with the barn shown, and
Yeah.
was rejected. And that's how they came to me, and Charlie Raffi was their attorney. They actually did estate planning, deeded the farm parcel to the parents as tenants in common, as a way of protecting the estate, and said to the kid, we're gonna give you the lot. So they deeded it into the kid's name, thinking they got 2 tax bills, they were home free. Kid did all the work, went to the health department with the building envelope and stuff, and got rejected. And then Mr. Raffi came to see me and said, would you represent the Rod Camps? And I said, I certainly would, and that's why we're here.
Have they made an application to the health department?
They did for the building
No, I mean
permit,
for the subdivision.
not yet, but they will, because they need to conclude seeker before they'll entertain the application.
Well, that's part of the application.
No, but it's,
No, it's just that
I expect it'll be fully granted, but I didn't
your
wanna
building
waste.
department's not gonna give you approval until the health department does.
No, I agree with
So you do
that.
them in parallel,
You know-
here and there.
You know, it's interesting, and you certainly are the expert here, but recently I've been told, don't submit until the town resolution is there for the seeker determination. I said, we've always submitted in advance, got a notice of incomplete application.
They changed the rules over there.
You know, I'm just,
I don't know when you go to build this thing, that D-night stuff is coming up, at all different places to put the.
whatever the rule
lots.
is on a sanitary, we're gonna have to comply. I get that.
January 1st.
Listen, I will rush it in. I mean, I'll submit.
Joe, are they abolishing their standard system entirely and going with everything's to be mandatory?
It's, I've heard that at least they've come back from it, because the resolution they first passed was every new application. Right. And then it began, smarter heads at least, I think, prevailed, they said, what are you doing this in zone 3 for? Deep breach on. Why
I
you,
thought
what do you
it's
have to
only
do this?
protected areas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think they cut back, but the original resolution said all of the county.
So does anybody use that barn now?
Farm probably does, I
Do
never asked it, but I presume that they do it at Farmington. Didn't ask.
You have to go to zoning board, you said, right?
Correct.
That's it, you know, if we can get scheduled, I'll roll, I appreciate it.
You know what's curious? They went and they had the development rights sold. Didn't the county pick up on subdivision?
No, you know, it just, I can't
I
tell you.
mean, they're supposedly so thorough, right?
I understand. Believe me, I can't explain why things happen, I can only tell you I'm trying to cure the problem. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, next item on the agenda is auto zone expansion on Old Country Road.
So this says,
It's 1260 Old Country Road.
so your offices are in Horsehead,
Yes.
the main office?
The main office is in Rochester, New York.
Oh,
We're just a satellite office, one of the few.
All right, so we've got a preliminary site plan application to construct a 1,500 square foot addition onto the eastern side of an existing 5,300 square foot masonry building, presently used as the auto zone. It's located on the northeast corner of Old Country Road and Woodcrest Avenue in Riverhead. It is zoned business center. Surrounding uses include retail to the north, commercial offices, and a Taco Bell fast food restaurant to the east, as well as commercial and residential uses to the west across Woodcrest Avenue. Secra was completed on the project. It's considered to be a type 2 action. Really, the only, it's a minor project. It just noted a couple of issues. The landscaping plan provided with the application calls for 26 shamrock inkberry on the front of the property. 18 of them are being proposed in an area on the front yard. It kind of looks, when you drive past the building, it's almost like this section is like, there's nothing there. It's like they just kind of like left it out when they were completing the building. So the plan's proposing to include them here, and it's proposing, I believe, 8 in a little planting bed on the southeast corner of the building.
Is there irrigation? Because they keep it kind of shoddily, I'll be honest with you, I go by there all the time.
Greg, that was the-
Landscaping is substandard.
Yes, when you take a look at the street view pictures, there are some, looks like missing teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some gaps, there's some plants that are stressed, lost like half the foliage on it. Didn't revisit that whole strip of plant material.
Yeah, and that was pretty much one of my recommendations, that instead of just kind of filling in that empty space, remove the existing landscaping that's kind of sparse and, shoddy, and just continue that landscaping scheme across the whole frontage of the property. It'll screen it a little bit.
Do we know if there's irrigation or we don't?
I can find out. I don't believe there is.
I don't think that there is.
So make it a condition, thank you.
And AutoZone is willing to continue that scheme on the front, and also the plantings along the building are also pretty sparse. So they'll continue the plantings in the front of the building as well.
Yeah, and there is another bed on the southwest corner of the building that's, kind of sparse, and there's nothing really there, so.
The problem there is that you constantly see people going in, buying something, and then installing it in the parking lot. I saw someone yesterday.
You can see it in the
I
picture.
happened to go by there, and I saw someone installing a muffler on a truck in the parking lot.
I mean, I just, I changed my windshield wiper blades in the parking lot.
Well, that's, I mean,
Yeah,
that's,
oh yeah, there it is, right there.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right, there's the picture, the hood open.
And that's the only permitted use that AutoZone really allows, is windshield wipers, and they may help the occasional customer put a new battery in. They do not approve of, especially that kind of use.
No oil changes in the parking lot?
No. In fact, in most of their buildings, they have a sign saying no repairs on site. And that's something that we can bring up with AutoZone, I can bring it back to them.
I don't think that exists in that
It's
location,
a
does
big
it?
problem,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, what are we gonna do about the landscaping? Because I see there's a resolution on for approval tonight.
No, it's a public
Oh,
hearing.
public hearing, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
so
and she
we're gonna
said,
need to work through
AutoZone
that.
is okay with continuing the
Yep.
landscaping, you know.
And then they gotta submit a new map.
Oh, yeah, the plan will need to be updated to reflect, you know, continue the landscaping throughout the front yard and in
And
both
it's just
lands.
this piece that's the addition.
It's actually, Right
Here.
here. this is just a concrete area.
So if you can bring that back to the AutoZone folks, then.
Sure, no problem.
The eastern property line, isn't there a big drop-off over there when you go into the Taco Bell parking lot? Isn't that raised up?
There is, it is set down a little bit. The Taco Bell is lower than AutoZone.
Something in here about the parking, the size.
Yeah, the size of the parking, so, yeah, so, I went back and I researched the original site plan when it was approved in 2001. The parking stalls on site were shown on the plan as 10 by 20. When they're reflected in this new site plan, they're shown as 9 by 18. You know, they should comply with the 10 by 20 code, 10 by 20 parking codes, in order to kind of help them out a little bit, because when they designed the new plan, they considered the warehouse addition to be they parked it as retail, which requires 1 per 250 square foot. I spoke with Brad Hammond, and he agreed with me that we can consider this warehouse and storage, which will give them a little bit of relief on the required parking. I believe it only requires 2 additional stalls as opposed to 6. So that'll give them the room that they need to create the 10 by 20 spots.
And that's something else, the AutoZone, what they plan on doing is resealing the entire asphalt lot and restriping to the 10 by 20 to comply.
They submitted a lighting plan which showed 6 LED wall lights and 4 pole-mounted LED lights throughout the parking area. The fixtures are dark sky compliant, they're 4,000 degree Kelvin, which has been recommended by the town's engineer. The only thing is that they're noted at 24 feet above grade, where the town code requires a maximum of 16 feet above grade. So the plan will need to be revised to show the correct heights. Submit a new lighting plan showing the photometrics for the revised heights.
And that's something to, we'll keep the current bases, but they will replace the poles to
Yeah, they can just
16-foot height.
cut it
Yep.
down, yeah, that's fine.
And the fixtures will stay as submitted.
Staff recommends the applicant install an accessible walkway from the sidewalk on Old Country Road. We would recommend that it could be done, you know, kind of perpendicular to the handicap stripe stall, so that you're not losing any parking. You know, the walkway can be run right through there. There were some minor changes on the zoning data table that need to be corrected, just, you know, clerical errors. And also noted that impervious coverage is not noted on the plan. I don't think they're in danger of going over, but the impervious coverage should be calculated, including the new walkway, and shown on the plan.
Okay, so currently, what's out there now is concrete.
Mhm.
We're adding more impervious surface. We're not increasing our impervious surface from what's existing. Other than that walkway, which honestly, that's the only thing AutoZone had a little bit of a problem with, only because their customer base usually aren't pedestrian traffic. Most people coming to AutoZone aren't walking. We can do it, they would just prefer not to.
Is there a bus stop there in front of AutoZone?
That I'm not sure of.
I mean, that's the only people I would think would walk up. is
Right.
taking off the bus.
Right, they get off at a bus stop and walk to work.
I mean, if the board doesn't think that
Yeah,
a
I
walkway
would
is
agree.
required,
People
that's-
probably wouldn't walk down 58 to go to the auto store.
It's noted during the review that The sign is 15 feet from the property line. When the site plan was originally approved, code only required a 15-foot unoccupied buffer in the front yard. Being that they're not, proposing to increase the level of nonconformity, they're not gonna need any relief from that. Beyond that, there were some building department comments. They got comments from Suffolk County Department of Public Works, which the Suffolk County Department of Public Works asked them to redesign the right-in, right-out from 58. I believe the applicant, I copied on an email where they're trying to reach out to the Department of Public Works to see if they can waive some of those requirements.
Yes, because it currently works now. Coming in and out, there's no issues with any accidents or problems as it currently is. Their delivery trucks come through there, they would have to hop that little island should it be put in.
Delivered in the back?
Yes, so I
Yeah.
believe right now it would come in this way, or they may come in from here. But they're working with the county on that, I believe. That's a little out of my, that's between AutoZone and the county.
Well, there's absolutely no shoulder there either, so it's tough to, the county made the road that way, and now they want you to fix it.
Right, right.
Yeah, and I mean, I had actually, when I got the comments from the county, I had called them just to make sure, we were looking at the same site plan, and they said, yeah, when they update their codes and they have applications that come in, that's their chance to get them to conform with the new
Okay.
requirements. So, they may waive it, they may not, it's not really up to us to decide.
Okay. Also, on the dumpster enclosure, because that was included in the letter, they do plan on updating those doors. They
Okay.
haven't weathered well, and they're aware of that.
Yep.
Architectural Review Board reviewed the project at its March 1st meeting. They recommended approval as is. They're basically just continuing the existing building scheme. So, Suffolk County Planning Commission looked at it. It was determined to be a local determination. And I did receive comments from the engineer. He initially looked at the plan and thought that this striped space over here was a handicap spot, so he asked for a redesign of this area. I've since been copied on correspondence where it was kind of a miscommunication. This is just meant to be a no parking area for customers so that they don't block the loading zone. So the engineer was fine with that. He didn't have any other comments.
Any comments from the fire marshal?
I haven't gotten any yet.
You know if the building's sprinkled?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not the architect, so I'm not sure.
Just curious, may not be required to do, but.
I'll get comments from them before we do any approvals. Beyond that, that's it for me.
They
Okay.
need a ZBA for this.
No, performed all the setbacks.
See you next month.
All
Okay, we'll
right.
schedule a public hearing tonight, and we'll see you
Okay,
back.
great, thank you very much. What's that?
Have a good trip back.
Tomorrow.
Okay, no public hearings tonight, so are there any comments from the public on resolutions? Any comments from the public?
Peter, any comments?
That's all the rest.
Okay, resolution number 1.
Make a motion, we approve resolution number 82 for Joe Chiato's office addition, its administrative approval.
Second the motion?
A motion made to approve resolution 82, granting administrative approval. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Resolution is approved.
Move resolution number 102 of the Riverhead Planning Board for a public hearing for Riverhead Commons. So moved.
Second.
One second. I think we have, out
We
of
got one
order,
more before that.
there's a newer,
There's a new one.
yeah. Number 2 is actually Riverhead Ford.
Okay.
I'll move, resolution 97, Riverhead Ford parking lot, granting the preliminary approval, the site plan application to clear the 187,000 square foot of wooded land in order to create an accessory parking area. So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion made and seconded to approve resolution 97 for Riverhead Ford parking lot. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. So I'm gonna vote no on this one, because I don't think they went far enough to protect some of the trees on that property. They're clearing the whole site, and I don't think it's necessary, so it passes anyway, 4-1. Number 3.
Resolution 98, Reeves Minor Subdivision. Resolution schedule a public hearing for November 2nd, 2017 on a two-lot minor.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve Resolution 98 for Reeve Minor Subdivision, schedule a public hearing. All in favor?
Question?
Aye.
Question? Didn't we have a public hearing on this?
The public hearing was scheduled. It was postponed at the request of the applicant, so now we're rescheduling for December 7th.
Okay, so we have a motion made and seconded to approve Resolution 98. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Resolution's approved. Number 4.
Make a motion to move resolution number 99 with the Riverhead Planning Board, which is a public hearing for Rot Camp Minor Subdivision. So moved.
Second?
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve Resolution 99 for minor subdivision for Rot Camp. Schedule a public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Resolution is approved. Number 5.
I'll move Resolution 100, AutoZone expansion, to schedule a public hearing for November 2nd on a preliminary site plan application to construct a 1,516-foot addition. So moved.
Second the motion?
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve Resolution 100. Schedule a public hearing for AutoZone expansion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution's approved. Number 6.
I'll move Resolution 101, 1264 West Main Street, to accept an amended site plan application that reflects the changes to the landscaping. So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve Resolution 101, amended site plan for 1264 West Main Street. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution's approved. Number 7.
Move resolution 102, Riverhead, for Riverhead Commons, to schedule a public hearing on November 2nd for construction of medical office complex of 4 buildings.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve Resolution 102 to schedule a public hearing for Riverhead Commons. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Okay, any comments from the public on any matter in front of the planning board? Anyone from the public want to address the board?
Make a motion that we move the Riverhead Planning Board minutes from the September 21st, 2017 meeting. So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve the minutes of September 21st, 2017. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Okay, next meeting is October 19th at 3 PM.
I will not be there.
Okay? Motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay.
Aye, yeah.
Unless you wanted to take
Yeah,
a
well.
No, I don't think so.
Friday. Yeah.
We have a lot of public hearings on this document.